tonight on CTV3 News. Curacao salesman charged with 3 counts of theft totaling almost $30,000. BDF soldier from Curacao is charged for sexual assault. He is accused of inappropriately touching a waitress. Belize advances towards sustainable transit as government signs agreement with Westline Bus Company. And San Pedro reports unprecedented marine die-off as sargassum crisis devastates Belize's ecosystem. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, August 21st, 2025.
World shifts to regional supply chains, Belize is poised to lead. This is where blue innovation meets green ambition, and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. From agribusiness to aquaculture, from renewable energy to digital services, from tourism to trade, this is the future of regional integration. And it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th at Sunset Caribe, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
Josetón presenta Los Cumbia Kings.
Mi dulce niña, tú me fascinas.
Los Cumbia Kings en concierto.
Sabes a chocolate.
Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación QuiPass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus,
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia,
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
The new designs for Belize's new banknotes have been revealed. But why are only 2 national figures featured on the banknotes? The individuals honored on our new banknotes have received Belize's highest distinction, the Order of the National Hero. As of January 2025, only 2 persons have been awarded this title. The Right Honorable George Cadle Price, regarded as the father of the nation, who was the first Prime Minister of Belize and renowned leader in our road to independence, and the Honorable Philip Stanley Wilberforce Golson, one of the longest-serving members of the House of Representatives, known for his unwavering stance on protecting and preserving Belize. By featuring these heroes, we honor their invaluable contributions to the development of our nation. New look, same value, heroes' legacy. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
It's here once again. Bigger and better. Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. Come and celebrate with us this September 6th, one of the biggest events of the year, Fiesta FM 21st anniversary.
It's all happening at Central Park at 7 p.m. There will be lots of giveaways and entertainment to the next level.
Come and dance the night away with the legendary, all the way from Dangriga, Maime Martinez. Alongside the mighty Super Furia Band. And on the wheels of steels, all the way from Chetumal, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Felipe Lopez, DJ Diablillo.
Arriba, 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 las manos arriba, arriba, las manos arriba, arriba, arriba. Aquí está el Diablillo y este es un desastre. Y al que no le gusta.
So you don't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. It's Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. See you there.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. A Belizean waitress has reported an uncomfortable incident involving a meal patron at Sing Wong restaurant on Main Street in Orange Walk Town. The incident occurred around 5 p.m. on Tuesday, August 19th, when Jessie Vasquez, a 20-year-old resident of San Lazaro Village in Orange Walk, was working at the establishment. According to Vasquez, Emil Carlos, a 28-year-old Belizean soldier from Progreso Village in Corozal, arrived at the restaurant accompanied by 3 other meals. The group ordered and consumed the food along with several rounds of beers. After finishing their meal, Carlos paid for a round of drinks he had ordered, and the group continued drinking. According to Vasquez, it was when she was moving bottles from the table that Carlos made an inappropriate physical advance by touching her on her buttocks, causing her to feel uneasy and uncomfortable. Vasquez promptly called the police, and Carlos was detained and taken to the Orange Walk police station. Carlos has been charged with sexual assault, and further investigations continue. A local supermarket employee has been formally charged with theft after allegedly withholding thousands of dollars in sales over a 2-month period, according to police reports. Alan Vladimir Ponce Chang, 29, a Belizean commercial director and head of Diversa Trading Belize Limited, reported the incident after discovering discrepancies in the financial records of A Mart supermarket located in Tral Farm Village. Chang stated that during a visit to the store on June 23, 2025, he uncovered that employee Virgilio Nathaniel Gomez failed to report sales amounting to $4,000 for that day. Further investigations revealed that Gomez also did not account for an additional $2,815 in sales on July 1, 2025. The total unreported sales for these 2 days amounted to $6,815. Authorities deepened the probe, uncovering that Gomez, a salesperson from San Roman Village in Corozal District, had withheld approximately $28,947.43 over a period spanning from June 6 to August 5, 2025. Following the findings, Gomez was detained by police and formally charged with 3 counts of theft. During his court appearance today, Gomez pleaded not guilty to all charges. Given that there was no objection to bail, he was granted a bail of $5,000, supplemented by 2 sureties of $2,500 each, which he successfully posted. Gomez is scheduled to return to Belize City Magistrates Court on October 23, 2025 for further proceedings. A 31-year-old mechanic employed with the National Fire Service has been formally charged with theft following allegations that he stole a gold ring valued at $2,700 from a colleague. Ricky Bevans, a resident of Belize City, was taken into custody after authorities linked him to the missing jewelry. The investigation began after a co-worker reported the theft, which occurred on July 31, 2025, at the fire station located on Princess Margaret Drive. According to police reports, the injured party removed his gold ring during his lunch break and placed it inside his short packet, which he then stored in his bag. When the workday concluded, he discovered the ring was no longer there. He questioned 2 colleagues present during the incident, including Bevans, but both denied any knowledge of the missing item. The matter was escalated to management and subsequently reported to law enforcement. Investigators visited Bevans' home, where he reportedly led officers to recover the stolen ring hidden beneath the stairs. The ring, marked with a large emblem, was confirmed through identification. Bevans appeared before the magistrate's court unrepresented and entered a plea of not guilty. The prosecution did not oppose bail, and he was released on a $1,500 bond with 1 surety. As part of his bail conditions, Bevans is prohibited from contacting the complainant or their family. His next court hearing is scheduled for October 23, 2025. Earlier this week, the Ministry of Transportation signed an agreement with West Line Bus Company Limited, which the department hails as a historic step in Belize's push to modernize public transportation. The initiative, backed by the European Union and the United Nations Development Program, UNDP, is designed to provide commuters with safer, cleaner, and more efficient travel while cutting the nation's carbon footprint. Officials say it reflects the government's Planet Belize strategy to deliver sustainable human development and strengthen connectivity across the country. In a press conference today, Minister of Transport Honorable Louise Zabani spoke more about the project and its impact on the ministry's plan to modernize the transport system.
The Ministry of Transportation yesterday signed West Line Bus Company Limited, launching a milestone initiative to bring Belize's first 3 electric buses onto our national highways. This historic step continues the transformation of public transportation, prioritizing commuters with safer, cleaner, and more efficient travel for families, workers, and students across the country. Guided by Plan Belize, the government is delivering real change that will positively impact the sustainable human development of our nation. With the support of the European Union and UNDP, this initiative lays the groundwork for a stronger, more modern national highway bus transport network that will further reduce our carbon footprint and better connect communities utilizing renewable energy across the country.
Now, while the ministry maintains that the selection of West Line Bus Company followed a rigorous year-long process, the Belize Bus Association is protesting the government's decision to hand over all 3 EU and UNDP donated electric buses to West Line Bus Company. Their protest, according to Minister Zabani, comes from a place of untruth and bearing true facts of the process.
The whole nation is wondering what their true motives are, because unfortunately their allegations are not based in fact. We have made it very clear with this press release today that we followed international standards, and those were resulted in West Line being selected. All the operators had an opportunity, and so it is rather baffling to try to understand what they're alleging in their press release that they claim that was put out there, and in a letter that they said they sent to this office that we have not received. So lots of question marks, but I want to make it clear that we view the BBA as an important organization in Belize, and we continue to be prepared to work with them and invite the remaining 13 members who have not yet come on board to support the process at this time.
The management agreement was officially signed on August 28, 2025, giving way to what authorities describe as a milestone in Belize's journey towards a modern, renewable energy-based highway transport system. Coming up next, Belize moves forward with plan to establish National Bus Company as 18 operators join public-private partnership. Stay tuned.
It's here once again. Bigger and better. Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. Come and celebrate with us this September 6th, one of the biggest events of the year, Fiesta FM 21st anniversary.
It's all happening at Central Park at 7 p.m. There will be lots of giveaways and entertainment to the next level.
Come and dance the night away with the legendary, all the way from Dangriga, my maid Martinez. Alongside the mighty Super Furia Band. And on the wheels of steels, all the way from Chetumal, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Felipe Lopez, DJ Diablillo.
Arriba, 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 las manos arriba, arriba, las manos arriba, arriba, arriba. Aquí está el Diablillo y este es un desastre. Y al que no le gusta.
So you don't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. It's Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. See you there.
Josetún presenta Los Cumbia Kings.
Mi dulce niña, tú me fascinas.
Los Cumbia Kings en concierto.
Sabes a chocolate.
Este 30 de agosto en el Estadio del Pueblo, Orange World Belice. Los Cumbia Kings en vivo.
No tengo dinero ni nada que dar.
No te pierdas el concierto del año que te hará bailar como nunca. General 150, VIP 200 y Platino $350. Boletos a la venta en la aplicación Quipass, disponible en Android y iPhone. También con Mechas, gracias al patrocinio de
BTV, Mechas,
La aplicación Express Plus,
Cuellos,
Instituto Nacional de Cultura e Historia,
Lock and Loaded, Mark Production, Quick Pass, Lighthouse.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Caribe in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025. Bridging markets, building resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
The case of the Bladen 12 drug case and trial has been one which has captured the attention of the entire nation. While the matter remains in court without resolution, the most recent report suggests that former head of the prosecution branch, Alifa Elrington, may be tapped as the new privately retained special prosecutor in the ongoing case. When questioned by the media about that matter earlier this week, Minister of Home Affairs, Honorable Kareem Musa, noted that the appointment has not yet been confirmed. He did, however, express concern over what he described as the glacial pace at which the case has been progressing.
I'm not aware if she has been. I know that there have been talks. As you know, Ms. Alifa Elrington used to be the head of prosecution branch, but she resigned earlier this year. She has substantially covered that case. I think it's all the way at the very last stage. And I know that there were negotiations happening between the commissioner and herself, and so I don't know if she has been retained as yet.
And then with the case that was thrown out because of the time, there must be disappointment in that with the Bladen case.
Absolutely. Those are things that, you know, we try our best in terms of the police department and prosecution to have our cases in order, have our ducks in a row. And so it's very disappointing in cases like that to see them fall apart after so many years. And that brings again the importance of having cases dealt with expeditiously. And I'm not casting blame on the judiciary, not casting blame on the prosecution, but it's very important in terms of justice that it's seen to be done, that it's done expeditiously.
The government's plan to modernize Belize's public transport system through the creation of a national bus company is moving steadily forward. In a press conference today, Minister of Transport Honorable Louise Zabani confirmed that 18 bus operators from across the country have formally signed on to participate in the new public-private partnership PPP model that will serve as a backbone of the transportation. Minister Zabani explained that the process will soon enter a new phase with the individual's audit of the participating operators scheduled to begin shortly. These audits are a critical step in ensuring accountability, efficiency, and service standards as the government works towards a unified, reliable, and professional national bus service.
At this point, we have 18 of them that have signed on, and again, we continue to reach out to them to consider the benefits of being a member of this national company. That the larger companies and many of the other medium-sized and smaller companies that comprise the 18 have seen very clearly that there are many, many benefits to being a part of this historic consolidation.
Have the audits started as yet?
The audits are to start early next week. We have gotten through the process because, as you know, we have to get the funding through the Ministry of Finance, and in fact, we're concluding that process as we speak. And the auditors will be reaching out to the 18 members who comprise 65% of the market, I want to add, and they should start that next week.
The National Bus Company Initiative forms part of the government's wider strategy to address long-standing issues in the sector, including overcrowding, poor scheduling, and vehicle safety concerns. Once established, the company is expected to deliver consistent service standards and pave the way for future innovations such as digital ticketing and fleet modernization.
But I want to say that the sargasso industry is very complex. When we talk about
Reports from San Pedro this week paint a grim picture of the worsening sargassum crisis and its impact on Belize's marine ecosystems. Residents and marine experts are sounding the alarm after massive die-offs of fish, crustaceans, and other marine life were observed near the reef. Marine biologist Greg Smith, who has lived on the island for decades, described the scene on a Facebook post as unprecedented, adding, quote, "Everywhere I looked, everything was dead. Octopus, moray eels, sea urchins, puffer fish, and all kinds of crustaceans. The water has turned so dark brown you can't even see your feet in the shallow water. Coral bleaching has already started. I have never seen anything like this in my life." The culprit of this major fish die-off is the overwhelming influx of sargassum that has increasingly blanketed Belize's coastlines in recent years. While naturally occurring, scientists link the worsening problem to climate change, shifting ocean currents, and nutrient pollution. The mats of sargassum block sunlight, choke coral reefs, and most dangerously deplete oxygen levels in nearshore waters. Environmental experts warn that the deoxygenation is especially deadly in mangrove and the shallow areas where juvenile sharks and other marine species seek refuge.
But I want to say that the sargassum issue is very complex. When we talk about responses, it has to be a multi-pronged approach. If you look at other or neighboring countries, it's something that's impacting not just Belize, but also Mexico, the entire Caribbean, the west coast of Africa. There's an entire sargassum belt. So it's, I'm sure, we have bigger countries that have more resources who are still struggling to address the issue. So there are responses that have taken place, but it's a very complex issue. And it really needs a multi-pronged approach, which would incorporate not just local action, but regional action as well. There's a lot of regional mechanisms that are looking at how to address it at a regional scale. But it is a complex issue. So while we would, as Belizeans, we would like to have a very quick, we could just go there and clean it up. We would like to have a response set in place that would eliminate it completely. It's almost not really realistic to say that can happen. As I said, that there's nothing that we can do, and that are being done. From a biologist perspective and from thinking of the species that we work with, that it's really key that we do develop these response mechanisms and fairly quickly, whether it's clean up or how we deal with it at the regional level. Because one of the concerns is that apart from impacting beach and the tourism, it has an impact on those key species, key ecological species. We're working with species at the top of the social level, and while we're making, the shark can swim off into the deep ocean, but the juveniles, the smaller ones, the babies, they're hanging out in the seagrass areas and in the mangrove areas that are heavily being impacted by sargassum.
The impacts on sea creatures, according to Kira Foreman of Mar Alliance, is severe and not expected to improve anytime soon.
So it's basically decomposing. So during a part of the decomposition process, it uses up all the oxygen within the water column. They create what you call hypoxic conditions. So basically, the water is left without any oxygen. Marine animals, they need to breathe, and they use oxygen to breathe. They extract the oxygen from the water itself. If there's no oxygen in the water, then they will die. For bigger species like bigger fish, some of them they're able to swim away and they can move up. For things like invertebrates or lobster or things that may not be able to move out fast enough, they will eventually die. So that our mangrove areas, as they accumulate within the mangrove areas, it will do exactly what we see it doing on the beaches. It's going to create those hypoxic conditions. It's going to reduce the oxygen within the water, within the mangrove areas, and it will kill off all the recruit. So mangroves are important for as a nursery. You know, everybody we have all of this mangrove education outreach things that talks about mangroves being important as nursery habitats. But this is where your baby lobster, your baby fish, all your juvenile marine life, the things that we like to see when we go to the reef, a lot of these start their life cycle within the mangroves. And so when sargassum starts to decompose within there, a lot of these juveniles will die.
In response to this growing issue, the government has imposed the Belize Sargassum Network, which includes government agencies, municipalities, businesses, and NGOs, which monitor and manage the influx of sargassum seaweed affecting the country. The network is spearheaded by the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation and involving groups like the Belize Tourism Board. As children across Belize prepare to return to the classroom, families are once again faced with the added expenses of back-to-school season. With this in mind, Minister of Home Affairs and New Growth Industries, Honorable Kareem Musa, was on the ground in his Caribbean Shores constituency today, delivering school essentials to students in need. The initiative, Musa said, is part of his commitment to ensuring that every child has the tools necessary to succeed in the classroom.
We're going to be servicing some 800 children. We have 800 school bags to give out today, along with all the necessities, the books and the pens and the pencils, and of course some groceries for the parents. And so we look forward to this every year. It's an exciting time for the children to keep them energized, keep them motivated, and inspired to get back in the classroom.
You're also doing haircuts?
Yes, also doing haircuts today. We have Ozzy the Clown, full day of festivities, and like I said, just to get the kids in that frame of mind to get ready for school on Monday. It's one of the times of year that the constituents across the country rely on politicians, and so it's definitely one of the high priority events for us each year. Like I said, getting the backpacks, in some cases the uniforms and the tennis shoes. It's a critical time and there is a huge need, and so that is when the people want to see their politician, need to see their politician to assist them with things like this.
Minister Musa also highlighted the government's broader pledge to achieve free education nationwide. While the implementation of universal free education is still in progress, Musa noted that educational assistance programs have seen significant growth in recent years, reaching more families and communities than ever before.
I know that free education is currently on the south side of Belize City in all the primary and high schools. I know that the Ministry of Education is looking to do it across the country. I believe they started as well in Corozal. But we do get a lot of educational assistance. I think record numbers of educational assistance last year. And again, it's going to be similar numbers this year. And that education assistance goes a very long way, especially for my constituents.
And here is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Electricity is evolving, and BEL is leading the way with smarter connections across Belize. Meet AMI, Advanced Metering Infrastructure. It's not just a meter, it's a smarter way to manage power. Smart meters record your energy use in real time and securely send the data to BEL. Key customer benefits include real-time insights into energy usage, improved home energy planning, integration of solar, battery, and EV technologies, and innovative customer service solutions. Get ready! AMI is coming soon to municipalities across Belize, including the Keys, to give you more control and reliability. BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
It is truly a proud and historic moment for us here in San Ignacio. It gives me great joy to welcome you all to the official opening of the very first wooden basketball court in our community.
The cost of the
project in completion was about $200,000. Honorable Mala was willing to assist us with this project. This is a huge, huge investment for us.
There can be serious development through sports, especially if the right foundation, having the right facilities are in place. Then the programs follow. We can't put the carriage front of the house by having the programs, but we only have outdoor facilities. Belize rain 6 months out of the year, and having outdoor facilities is just not enough.
Our focus is going to be on education because that's a part of using sports as a vehicle to get as many of our athletes to international schools to play football, basketball, volleyball, track, whatever it is. The other thing is health. 33% of our people are afflicted by diabetes, hypertension, or some ailment like that. And those things can be prevented. So we want to create again the facilities where people can go exercise, have fun.
Bigger and better. Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. Come and celebrate with us this September 6th, one of the biggest events of the year, Fiesta FM 21st anniversary.
It's all happening at Central Park at 7 p.m. There will be lots of giveaways and entertainment to the next level.
Come and dance the night away with the legendary, all the way from Dangriga, Maime Martinez. Alongside the mighty Super Furia Band. And on the wheels of steels, all the way from Chetumal, Quintana Roo, Mexico, Felipe Lopez, DJ Diablillo.
Arriba, 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 las manos arriba, arriba, las manos arriba, arriba, arriba. Aquí está el Diablillo y este es un desastre. Y al que no le gusta.
So you don't want to miss this one-of-a-kind event. It's going to be big. It's going to be great. It's Fiesta FM 21st anniversary. See you there.
The Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation, BMBEMC, in collaboration with the National Adaptation Plan, NAP Global Network, hosted a 2-day capacity building workshop to advance the implementation of Belize's NAP for the coastal zone and fisheries sector. The training, held on August 19th and 28, 2025, brought together key governmental agencies engaged in marine and coastal adaptation planning. The workshop aimed at strengthening the capacity of institutions responsible for adaptation planning by providing a fundamental understanding of national adaptation processes, climate change frameworks, and core adaptation concepts. Participants also gained hands-on experience with the NAP Global Network's monitoring, evaluation, and learning toolkit, a practical resource designed to improve the tracking of progress, learning, and accountability in adaptation initiatives. Training objectives focus on enhancing participants' understanding of key adaptation concepts relevant to the coastal and fisheries sectors. Introducing and applying the NAP Global Network MEL toolkit to support monitoring, evaluation, and learning. The NAP Global Network supports developing countries in advancing their NAP processes to strengthen adaptation to climate change. Through tools such as the MEL Toolkit, the network provides practical guidance to ensure that adaptation planning is measurable, transparent, and effective. On August 19, 2025, the Belize Forest Department, in collaboration with the Belize Police Department, conducted an enforcement operation in Belize City that led to the confiscation of a jaguar pelt. The operation was launched following several tips and concerns from the public, conservation groups, and stakeholders regarding the public sale and display of the jaguar pelt on social media. During the operation, Mrs. Lydia Arlino was found in possession of the jaguar pelt and has been charged under the Wildlife Protection Act The jaguar pelt was successfully confiscated and secured as evidence. Preliminary assessments suggest the pelt was taken from a juvenile or female jaguar, a strictly protected species in Belize. Jaguars are keystone species playing a critical role in maintaining healthy ecosystems. They are protected internationally under the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora. The Belize Forest Department reminds the public that it is illegal to possess any wildlife parts such as pelts, teeth, or feathers, nest, eggs, or other wildlife derivatives. The Belize Forest Department urges all Belizeans to play their part in protecting wildlife and discouraging illegal trade. Together, we can stop illegal wildlife trade and ensure that future generations inherit a Belize rich in biodiversity and natural heritage. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, August 21st here on CTV3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com, or you can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening.